Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Openly Expressive. You know what, guys? I think this is going to be the first episode of season 3. Congrats to me, y'all. So it's been officially 1 year since I started a podcast. Yay, I did it. So thanks to you guys for being my loyal listeners, my boobies, my babies. Thank you very much. So let's get into it. Y'all, I've been doing so good. I started therapy. But I don't know, the therapist sound like she a homegirl, and I'm just like, she was like, yeah, so I could keep it a buck with you, and I'm just like, did we just say that? Like, I don't want to feel like I'm talking to a homegirl, so I don't know how that's gonna work out. I had like an intake specialist, or intake therapist, actually, a session with a guy, a Caucasian guy, because it doesn't matter the race, but he was so professional, very professional, and I really want him back. But he told me he's so booked to capacity that if I did want him, I basically gotta put a bid in. And it wasn't even like, initially I actually asked him can I have him permanently way before I even started the session with the woman, and he said he's so booked. So I was disappointed. I'm like, how you gonna give me the crack and take it back? Like, so now I'm supposed to have a session with her today, my second session, but I had to cancel because A, I don't feel like being bothered, and B, my daughter went to the hospital yesterday. She good, stress. So that's the thing we can talk about, stress. My daughter has a job. It gets on her fucking nerves, and it's crazy how you can actually be out of school, but she works in the school, but it's like she's in high school again. The jealous girls and women, I wouldn't even call them women, they're girls, because jealousy is like at an all-time high, and me and my daughter dealt with that all of our lives so far, and hopefully one day that comes to a cease. But it just seems like the more insecure someone is, they place their insecurities onto you and others, and it's just so pathetic. Like, girl, I understand that you might not be where you want to be physically or mentally or whatever the situation is, or financially, but to sit there and spew jealousy towards someone else, your negative actions towards someone else, that's the most asinine shit that you can do, because my friend, you cannot be me. And quite frankly, if you wanted to trade places, if that was a thing to actually be able to be done, you wouldn't last a day in my life, honey, nor my daughters, because we've been through some buku shit, okay? And we arose. I don't know if that's a word, but hey, you get what I'm saying. We came from out the gutter, and we on top. So it's just like, I don't know if people admire that, or people, sometimes people see how you go through things and how you handle it, and that could make them jealous of you as well, because a lot of people fold, crack, and take their lives or do something of a criminal extent, and it ruins their life. But me and my daughter, regardless of what we've gone through, we've handled it with stride, I would say, most incidences. I mean, sometimes we've had mishaps and done some off-the-wall shit. And speaking of off-the-wall shit, I'm gonna fill y'all in. But we've done some things that we either regret, or basically we've learned from it. And you know what? I won't even say regret, because we actually talk about it a lot of the times, and we don't regret anything we've done. I mean, no, when I cracked the girl in the head with a chair, I do regret that, because that's not me. I was a violent person, but my excuse for all of those things that I've done to people that were physically harmful or whatever type of harm to them, it was justified to me. But there's no justification for violence either way it goes. So I wish I didn't do certain things, but everything is also a lesson, because it changed me. And I said in the previous episode that changed me all the way. Like, I don't fuck around. Like, we're not about to fight, we're not about to argue, we're not about to do any of those things. I'm not on your type of time no more. Like before, I'm on your time, and even better, but I can't do that no more, because it's not beneficial to me, it's not safe for anyone, and it tampered with my freedom, honey. So like I said before, when I got locked up, that was a wake-up call. And then your first offense, or only offense, it was a damn felony charge. That woke me the fuck up, because like I said, I'm the glue to my household, and without me, they would crack and break and fold and fall all apart. And I would never want to do anything else in my life. that could jeopardize me being with my family, because they need me, and quite frankly I need them, because me being a mom has changed me and calmed me down a whole lot, even though I have done some asinine foolish things in my life, even as being a mom. But you live and you learn. So I just say to everyone, don't ever beat yourself up on the things that you have done in your life that were a negative thing. Just look at it as a lesson learned. Even if it was something done negatively on your behalf, just learn from it. Learn not to do it again. And I swear, everything in your life that you have gone through or are going through currently is a lesson, and you need to look at it as such. Don't look at it as something negative and be like, you know what, my life is fucked up. Let me do this and that to myself or somebody else. Because quite frankly, you do anything crazy to yourself or anybody else, what the hell is that going to solve? And then if you have family members who love you, and say you take yourself out, God forbid, or you do something crazy to take you away from them and you end up in a damn penitentiary, those people who love you are going to be affected by your negative actions as well, because now, and the ones that depend on you, now they won't have you. They'll have you behind glass, and they have to visit you periodically, and guess what? They ain't going to do it often, my friend. So you can only imagine, there's friends and family and whoever else in your life that sometimes just go astray, and you don't hear from them for however long. You be like, damn, they good? And then when they finally pop up, you be like, oh, so you ain't there. You just didn't contact me. So imagine those individuals in your life that you depend on a day-to-day basis that are not always there for you. And then all of a sudden, when you get locked up or overdoing some dumb shit, they're definitely not going to be there. So you're going to be lonely. You're going to be in prison, sitting there dwelling in your sorrow with a bunch of other miserable motherfuckers because they've committed crimes, and some regret, and some actually live and don't regret a damn thing, and they continue to wreak havoc even in prison. I know somebody like that, and I'm like, my mans, you locked up for doing the dumbest shit in the world, and yet you still doing the dumbest shit in the world. Why you locked up? It's crazy to me. I don't think you want to get out, my friend. But there are some people who are accustomed to getting locked up because it's familiar to them. It's a hot pot in a cot, Even if that damn hot pot is nothing but dried ass oatmeal and some dry bread and some water. And let me tell you, honey, when I got locked up, they gave me some damn dry ass peanut butter that looked like poop, because it was sitting right next to the toilet, a piece of bread with the peanut butter on it. And I'm like, hold on now. They might be giving me poop on bread. I don't know. I just wasn't with it. No, or a cheese sandwich that's not even melted with some damn wheat bread. I hate wheat bread. You couldn't get any water because the water actually was attached to the toilet. So you press the button to get your water from that way. So my friend, you telling me I'm drinking toilet water? So you think I'm a fucking animal? Laying on the floor, you get a box of Cheerios. You don't get a fork. You don't get a spoon. You don't get a nothing. Not a spork, not nothing. You get a little thing of Cheerios, the little kid pack of cereal. You get a little school milk. And you gotta, and I'm sitting there, I'm asking the people, I'm like, yo, how do I eat this? There's no utensils. And he was like, you're not getting it, and walked away. And so a girl who's been, a person who commits many crimes, and she's used to it, she's like, oh girl, you gotta take it in, you gotta take the cereal, pour it in the milk, shake it up and eat it. What? Oh no, my friend, that's not for me. All laying all crowded up on each other like some damn sardines. You go from one cell to another cell and you get comfortable and fall asleep. They be like, wake the fuck up, because they don't want you to get comfortable in there. You're cold, you're miserable, people laying on top of you. It's just like the worst feeling ever. And it's just like, I would never in my life do any dumb shit ever again to jeopardize my freedom, my sanity, nor being away from my children. And me, I'm a boss. Like, y'all know I work for myself. I got my own businesses. So I can sleep when I want, but it's like half of the time I don't even be asleep, because I work, because I have so many things that I want to achieve. And I'm not like a normal person who has the regular 9 to 5 per se and can clock out and guarantee the check. With me, when you're an entrepreneur, you have to work your ass off until you get to where you're going to get. And even when you make it to the highest of heights, you still have to do your due diligence in life and keep on pushing, because all things can be taken away if you ain't going to keep working at it. But I'm also trying to, create that residual income where I do have certain things where I do have residual income, but the money ain't money like it need to be. So I bust my ass on a daily basis. Everybody's telling me you need to take breaks, which is true, because you don't want to overwork yourself. But on the other hand of things, listen, I have to bust my ass until I make it. And the things that I'm doing are paying off. It's not paying off like I need it to be or want it to be. But, it's very fulfilling also. So that's another word of advice for me. I like to give you guys advice too. Do something in your life, whether it's an actual job working for someone else or yourself. I am an advocate for yourself. But, to each his own. But either way, whatever you do in your life as far as getting money or whatever, your finances and things like that in order, make sure it's something that you love. Because my daughter's at a job, she's miserable as fuck. And I keep telling her, listen, you don't have the personality to be a people person and be around motherfuckers, especially jealous bitches. So get you an LLC, get you some, business credit and all that other stuff going on, honey, and open up you a spot. You're very sociable, you're very smart. Open you up a spot, because I'm trying to open up a spa. I don't know why I just randomly thought about this, but that's what I really want to do. But the thing with me is I don't like to work for someone else. And even if it is my thing, well, let me, retract that statement. That's the wrong thing to say. I don't like to have to physically be made to go into somewhere. Hence why I am an entrepreneur and I work for myself, because it's like, when you have a set schedule to be in person somewhere, you're obligated to that thing. And I don't want to have, besides my children and, things that I need to be obligated to, I don't want to be obligated to something else. I have to be obligated to go in, check on the business, be hands-on and things like that. Although I can hire employees, but when you first starting out, you don't have the finances to have employees. So that's another thing that's kind of deterring me from actually pursuing that anyway. But sorry guys, if you hear the car, I'm parking lot pimping, I'm parked in front of the house. Sorry. But anyway, you don't have the finances to pay employees yet when you are a starter business. So it's just the things that I'm doing now, I feel like I must work my behind off until I get my finances in order to where I want it to be. And then I can branch out and possibly open something. And therefore, I could just be basically the overseer, and I will be hiring security and all this other thing. Because you're not about to play with me on my money. So I'm thinking, if I do a spa or whatever, I was going to do an event space, but I don't really want to do that. But if I do a spa, it's going to be popping, y'all. I would have it to where, clients have to put a security deposit. Also, I would have a lock on the door. It's like a buzzer. You can't get in without even having an appointment. You would have to sign in also and show ID on your initial sign in or whatever, because I'm not about to play with you. It's too many people who work so hard for their businesses, and it's all taken away in a matter of a second, either physically because someone came in there and they ripped them off and, messed up their dream. Or sometimes people come in there and they wreak havoc and shoot and kill people of establishments over some chump change, or even if it's not chump change, it's all not even worth it. So another word of advice, if you get your business, honey, make sure you beef up security. If you can, do what you need to do to protect you and your assets and everyone else that's involved in the situation, because since that pandemic, people hungry. People been hungry, but some people lost their jobs, and it seemed like a lot of people lost their minds. So you got to be very cautious, and the world is doing nothing but getting worse. I don't see it getting better, and the world going to end eventually. For those who believe in God like I do, it's going to end. So, you got to make the best of what you have while you are here, and in turn, keep yourself away from all negativity and negative-minded people, which leads me to my next topic or whatever. So there was someone that I was talking to. I wasn't even going to address this to give them no play. But anyway, somebody tried to play with me, give me a backhanded compliment about my podcast, the little haters or whatever. And it's just they called me a nobody. So I'm laughing. I'm like, I'm a nobody. But, Spotify says that I am within the top 15% globally shared. They co-signed me, my friend. And they gave me my accolades within, 2 months? I think I was already becoming a paid podcaster by then. Became paid podcaster, sorry guys, because normally it takes somebody much longer, but I'm that girl, and thanks to you, my booby. So I appreciate you all. Thank you. Continue listening. But I was just like, you know what? Sometimes you keep company of people that you know damn well that you have nothing in common with. The only commonality that I had with that person, or even a few people in my life, were that we went to school, we either chit-chatted on the phone, or some others we hung hard body, but you know, that relationship, you know, just diminished somehow due to time and low-key animosity or whatever the situation is. But now I just learned how to cut people and their bullshit off on site. Like, I'm not about to play with you no more. I don't care how long I've known you. I don't care what I've known you from. The fact of the matter is, we no longer have anything in common. We don't have that trauma bond anymore. I have healed, or, you know, I'm in my healing process. I think I'm pretty much like almost there as far as healing, because I don't hurt over things that I used to hurt over. I don't give a damn about, you know, my skin has grown pretty thick. I don't give a damn about what anyone says about me. I don't care if you think it's constructive or not. Keep your opinion to yourself. And if you feel the need that you can't, then I still won't listen, because it doesn't matter. I am controlling in my life. I'm control of my life. You are in control of yours. And we should never let anyone dictate what the hell we do and how we move. Like, keep that over there. And I used to always operate on other people's opinions of me and, you know, what they think I should do and this and that. I mean, I wasn't a gopher. Like, I'm not going to be like, okay, I wasn't a yes ma'am or yes man. I wasn't like that at all. I wasn't a pushover, far from it. But it's just like things that people would say, it would really touch me and hurt me. And I'd be like, damn, I thought they were cool. And it's crazy because the people that are closest to you are the ones that really fuck you over. And it's like, damn, if you're thinking these things about me and you're close to me, damn, is it true? You start second guessing yourself or whatever. But I just realized hurt people. Like I said before, I just realized that negative minded motherfuckers would try their best to make you negative minded as well. And their insecurities, they will play that on you. And it's just like, listen, I've learned that, and it's not bothersome to me anymore. Keep your negative shit over there, and I'll continue to do me. You do you, and I'll do me. Don't worry about what I got going over here, because like I said before, y'all, what I eat don't make you shit and vice versa. So don't worry about anything that I got going on. And quite frankly, you sitting there worrying, basing all of your time trying to critique or whatever the hell you want to call it to someone else, in reference to someone else, and that same time that you taking the energy to dish out negative things or whatever it is pertaining to someone else, you could be taking that to do something productive, my friend. You sitting there on your ass talking, pointing the finger. I hate a gossiper. I told you that before. I do not like a gossiper. Like, what is that doing for you? My mom is a heavy gossiper. I told her she's a colorist recently, y'all. You know how I told you how my mom be doing me dirty or done me dirty, but I put that to rest because, like I said, cut off any type of ties to anyone who is negative. It doesn't matter if they are family or friend. If they are interfering with your mental in a negative manner, get rid of those motherfuckers. Period. Point and the blank. That is it. I don't have I don't make time for that. There's 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week. Out of all of those hours and days in life, there are many people who base their existence on having the majority of those hours and days be filled with bullshit. I was telling my daughter the other day, listen, bullshit don't pay the bills. So if you on that type of time, take that bullshit elsewhere or to someone else who likes the bullshit, and y'all canoodle together and get in a bullshit boat and stroll off. But I don't entertain that. It's draining, it's whack, and it don't pay nobody bills. When have bullshit and got somebody bills paid? Gossiping. When has it gotten anybody's bills paid? Besides Wendy Williams, who wanna gossip, and then look how that turned out. She don't even have a show no more. Because God don't like ugly. You can't be sitting there, wreaking havoc in other people's lives by gossiping and putting their business all out there on the forefront and think that you are going to reap the benefits of that. And then people think that, even with the Wendy Williams, her show and things like that and her success, people probably think that, oh, she's blessed, she's this or that. No, I feel like the devil look out for his folks too. He very much looks out for his folks. But the difference between the devil and God looking out for folks, when the devil look out for somebody, it's sometimes instantly, It's that instant gratification, that instant, I'm going to give you what you want. and you're like, oh my gosh, this must be a blessing. No, honey, because God takes time to shape and mold things and people. And just like he does that, he has his plan in action. He can do it instantly. But why would he give you something instantly if he does, you might just fold on that. You might get your blessing instantly and completely mess it up. So I think, we go through all of our trials and tribulations to prepare us for our triumphs. So when you're waiting for something or you're praying for something and you're like, man, he's not listening. He's listening. He's just not going to give it to you when you want him to give it to you, because guess what? You might not be ready to receive that blessing. So when you do get it, you have already prepared yourself for what it's like to, first of all, not have it. Secondly, you've prepared yourself for, okay, I don't have it now, so let me try to make another avenue to get the things that I actually need right now until I actually do get the things that I actually have to have. So I think he wants you to prepare yourself for your blessings, because, say if you have a baby with no teeth and you give the baby a big plate of food, the baby not gonna know what to do with it. You can't give someone something that they're not ready and prepared to receive yet. With the baby, what you gotta do? You gotta work his way up to actual solid foods. But before that, you have to give him the milk, the formula, the breast milk, or, the baby food, the soft foods and things like that until he gets his little teeth. And, then he's prepared to tackle an actual feast. But until then, he has to take those, quote unquote, baby steps to prepare himself for the bigger thing. And I think that's what we have to do. We have to prepare ourselves for the bigger thing, but don't just expect for your blessings to be handed to you. So all of the things that I, want to obtain, I can't just be like, yeah, I want this and I need that and I got to have this and that, but I don't work for it, because that's not how God do. I think that God gives us things that we need, but he also wants you to work for it. He's not just going to hand it to you. That's lazy. I don't think he wants any of us to be lazy. He also says if you ask him for something, that you shall get it. And I realize everything, but you have to have faith. That's one thing. You have to have faith. So I realized that everything that I have ever asked for and prayed for and, had one-on-one conversations with God, that I've gotten it. And sometimes it baffles me, like, oh man, like it takes me back, because I'll be like, I don't be thinking that he actually cares as much as I know he does, because it's like a lot of the stuff that I've gone through, it's like, why? Like, even with my daughter with autism, or my oldest child who has been through certain things in her life, my son who has been through certain things, me who have been through many things. And it's just like, do you actually love me? But then, even with me being molested when I was a child, I say to myself, well, I think everything happens for a reason. So although that was very unfortunate for me, it also prepared me to instill in my kids, like, listen, everything on your body, from your head to your earlobe to the tip of your toe, is private. If you do not give anyone permission to touch it, my friend, it is not to be touched, and that means they are violating your privacy. Back them the fuck up. Period. That's it. So you have to teach them these things young. And I think oftentimes a lot of us are not taught what is private, what is your personal space, what is this, what is that. Even with my children, I'm like, listen, if you put your hands out, if you in a heated debate or whatever it is, not a debate, but if you are in a heated disagreement with someone and you put your hands out, you can stretch your hands out and you can touch them, that means they're too close. Back them up. Because they're not, if you standing that close to me and I'm able to physically touch you, that means you want some smoke, because why are you invading my space? But, I kind of regret, well, I don't have regrets, but my daughter told me, Ma, you've been telling me that for years, so now all of a sudden I don't play with nobody, now you trying to calm me down. But I have to tell her, like, listen, everything is not worth a battle. You can just walk away. You don't have to stand there for the BS. You can just walk away. Because I also tell my daughter, and I used to tell my brother, like, listen, be the person that is telling the story and not the person who the story is being told about, which means, when that story is being told about the person, a lot of times that person dead, they ain't dead no more. So be alive enough to still even be able to tell your story. as I am doing now, But back to the situation, the unfortunateness of me being molested, it just prepared me to prepare my children for their safety. Like, I even tell my son, who's 12 years old, listen, when you go out with your dad and y'all have dad and son time and you go to the bathroom, listen, tell your dad he need to go to the bathroom too. If he gotta stand in the next stall and use the bathroom, or he gotta stand in there while you in the stall or whatever and wait for you to come out, you gotta do what you gotta do. Because I remember when I was younger, there was something on the news how someone had killed someone's child while they were in the bathroom and the parent was outside waiting for them. So you never know who's lurking anywhere. There's a bunch of damn weirdos in this world, and I have to prepare myself and my children for that. And so, although it was very unfortunate that I was touched as a child by someone who was supposedly close to me, that definitely prepared me to make my children be aware of how wicked this world can be with folks and to trust no one. I was having a conversation with my children the other day, my oldest and my youngest son, and I'm like, listen, you can't trust anyone. You can't even trust yourself, quite frankly, to make the right decision sometimes. So if you can't even trust your own actions and yourself, what makes you think that you can trust the likes of others? And I told y'all, my grandpa used to touch one of my aunts. My grandpa which is his child, my grandpa touched a few of my cousins. So my family is tainted from way back. Molestation is not uncommon to us, And, it doesn't matter who the person is. You cannot trust them. So I tell them now, you can't trust anyone walking on. That is it. And you can definitely trust the devil to mess your life up, okay? Trust and believe that. Trust and believe that. So I also tell them the devil sends his minions, his demons, or whoever in many forms. That form can be a person of a family. It could be a family member. It could be a friend, quote unquote. It can be an authoritative figure. Don't be fooled by any damn thing, because just because it look good don't mean it is. It could come in the cutest package. Like I told you how, we start dating someone or we see someone and you're like, she look good, or he look good, he fine, this and that. And then you get the person and they just bring so much chaos and hurt and, trauma to your life. And it's like, damn, I trusted you, my friend. I mean, you look good. You seemingly look normal. But you know how you watch the news, and half of the time you're looking at the news and most of the criminals are very attractive. And let's be for real, I'm very attractive and I was a criminal. So, shucks, don't ever let the looks fool you, honey. Watch out for everyone, every shape and form, honey, because it ain't safe out here. And it's sad when it's not even safe, in places that you actually are supposed to be comfortable in. Like, let's be for real, my family members who were molested, even when I was molested or raped, my family member, I think my aunt was raped, because I don't know the difference between rape and molestation. Is molestation just fondling, or is molestation just, pertaining to a sexual act when it's children involved, or what? But quite frankly, all of it is rape to me, because although words weren't physically said with the word no or stop or don't do that, you didn't give your permission to be touched, so it's all fucking rape to me. Okay? So y'all just gotta be careful. Teach your kids this early, that you can trust no one but God and Jesus. That is it. And trust their word. And it's a lot of the times where I had to question what's going on. Why do certain things happen in life? And there's God, so why would he allow, children to be sick, some children to be sick, some children to die because they're innocent? And I know that it says like the wages of sin is death. And it's just like, okay, so if that's the case, what about those innocent children who are born, like stillborn births and things like that, or like children who have cancer and things like that? And it's just like, so how come? But I also think that sometimes those situations are possibly put in, because I have someone that I know who child had died when it was like young or whatever, and I did mention to them, like, instead of looking at it as, it is something bad and it is something painful, I do know, like, I understand that would be very traumatic for someone. But I think perhaps that when that happens, maybe God uses children like that in those situations to maybe bring that person closer to their family that they already have. Because sometimes people, and cherish what they already have within their household. Because sometimes people work themselves so much that they just neglect their family, their loved ones, and everything else, even themselves. And they don't never take the time to breathe, or, actually, appreciate their blessings. So maybe that is the reason why things like that happen. Maybe God is saying, look, I'm presenting you with a gift that not many people are able to have, because there are some people who are not able to produce children. And I'm just presenting this to you for the time being so that you can understand, like, listen, do not take anything for granted. Cherish what you already have. I don't know. I just look at things that everything happens for a reason, and I wonder why, but I just try to always put things into perspective, because, when you live your life without putting things into perspective, you rack your brain, which is stress and, depression, and all of those things can lead to a multitude of diseases that are not healthy for you and things like that. So, just try to, whatever you have going in your life, negative, that is bothering you or whatever it is, just try to put it behind you. I'm not saying you're going to forget, because that's quite impossible. I mean, I'm sorry guys, I have a cold, so I might sound a little whatever. Sorry about that. But, I'm saying don't dwell on things, because what does dwelling do? You can kind of think about the things for a little bit and probably process them and analyze and break it down and be like, you know what? If it's something that you were involved in that you could have had hand in making a difference in, then you got to be like, okay, well, I learned from that. Next time I won't do it this way. Perhaps I'll do it this way and I'll have a different outcome next time. So you can always look on the bright side of things and figure out, like, okay, things happen for a reason. It toughened me up. I learned a lesson, and it is what it is. But that dwelling is never good. I've been in a state of dwelling probably most of my life until recently, and now it's just like, man, please. I say for the past year or so, I don't dwell on nothing. I can't. What's the purpose? Because it has done nothing but look what it has done. It made me gain weight. It made my skin look crazy. Y'all know I'm fair skinned, so any breakout I'm getting is very visible, and I'm just like, what does stress do? Because quite frankly, if you are sitting there stressing over something or somebody that you can't cry over spilled milk, all you could do is clean it up and either get some more milk or just be like, milk ain't for me. But to sit there and cry over spilled milk, it's pointless, honey. Just do what you have to do in life. Take care of you and yours. Prioritize everything that you need to prioritize, and throw away things and those people who need to be thrown away. Not physically, because we don't want nobody doing nothing crazy, putting nobody in the body bag and throwing them out. Not that, my friends. Sometimes you got to be very specific when you're talking to folks, because some people take things to the extreme, my friends. So I am not advocating for violence. But I'm just saying, put things in the past behind you and figure out a solution on moving forward. Nothing in this world and no one in this world is worth losing your freedom nor your sanity. So, my friends, I might have veered left a little bit. I don't even know. I was just rambling today because I was like, I haven't been talking to my boobies lately. So, welcome to season 3. And, I told you guys I'll be doing story times and this and that. I have so many episodes recorded. I think I probably have between 8 to 10 episodes recorded, and I just hadn't uploaded it yet because I have to edit it and, factor in a few things. But, basically chop and screw them all up. I'll do what I need to do to present my episodes to you guys. And I love you for listening. I thank you for listening to my oldies. I thank you to my newbies. Please come back. And I see that I have subscribers. So I truly appreciate you all. Have a great, blissful, wonderful life, day, and always include positivity into your day. Thank you, babies. I love you for listening. Later.